too cute. This is a guy that lives in the blue tent. And it was 10-0. It was first quarter. This was not the NFC Championship. Fourth quarter, trying to get a first down to get to a Super Bowl. Bro, what are you doing? And after the game, oh boy, here's what he said.
Is there anything you would have done different on that one?
No. Look, like, I understand the question, but like this is football. Like, I'm gonna get hit if I'm in the pocket or outside the pocket. I've played this way my whole entire life. This shouldn't be like any shocker to anybody if you've followed along with my career.
Okay, so when anybody says it's just part of the game, for linebackers, not for quarterbacks. The second thing is, I don't like this quote when he says, like, I've played my entire career this way. This is not Corner Canyon High School in Utah. Okay, that's not what we're doing here. Smart people, including football players, evolve. Lots of things are cool at 19. Beer bongs. They're not at 22 when you're the face of the New York Giants. It's like when I hear NBA players like Ja Morant, hey, man, this is just my game. And they rely on super athleticism, and Ja Morant, like, never changes. John Wall had this component. Hey, man, this is my game. Well, in this episode of Let's Keep It Real, exit stage right. You have to evolve the game. You have to be able to shoot threes. You've got to improve elements of your game. I don't want to hear, hey, it's just football. No quarterback should ever take a hit like that. And again, if you're stretching for a first down at the marker to get to a Super Bowl or win one, it's a different conversation. This is a first quarter game and you're not making the playoffs. And the New York Giants have not had a quarterback start and finish the season every start since Eli Manning.
You know, this is an interesting perspective. To be completely transparent, I don't believe any player should willingly absorb a punishing hit like that, which may sound counterintuitive. If I were in a coaching capacity, my instruction to players would be unequivocal. Get out of bounds or get down. The human body has a finite capacity for punishment. It makes me wince. We see this frequently with tight ends and running backs. A player is clearly not going to gain significant yardage, maybe an extra foot at most. There's a designated spot. Just go down. Just step out. It's not a monumental issue. This philosophy isn't exclusive to quarterbacks. It's about preserving your physical well-being over the grueling marathon of a season. The most critical attribute a player can possess is availability. This isn't about exhibiting weakness or a lack of toughness. It has nothing to do with the requisite intensity of the sport. It's about synthesizing intellect with physicality. You don't derive any substantive extra value from those moments, and you don't require those individual acts of defiance to demonstrate strength, send a message, or galvanize your teammates. It's simply additional, unnecessary wear and tear. We've witnessed instances, like with Dallas Goedert, where a player is knocked out of a game for seeking one superfluous yard. There's simply no rationale for it. If you're near the sideline, just step out. You are not going to bulldoze through that defender and subsequently sprint for another 20 yards to score. That outcome is not probable. If it were a likely result, then by all means, go for it. But it's generally not worth the risk. It just isn't. The human body can only endure a limited number of violent collisions per game. If you absorb a major hit in the first quarter, you will be marginally diminished, slightly compromised, in the second, third, and fourth quarters. That's human physiology. We are not indestructible. I wish we were. As any orthopedic surgeon will tell you, you are not a machine. We cannot simply replace a damaged component with a new one. It doesn't operate that way. Therefore, I consistently advocate for minimizing those high-impact collisions, whether you're a wide receiver or a running back. Offensive players have more agency in this regard. Defensively, it's often unavoidable, which is why defensive players are perpetually banged up and why youth is so prized on that side of the ball. Younger bodies recuperate faster. If I were a general manager or an owner, my directive to coaches would be clear. I comprehend the desire to instill intensity and physicality. I am not advocating for the removal of physicality or suggesting we play a timid brand of football. Don't misconstrue my point. But if you can mitigate truly devastating unnecessary hits, you should do so. It's simply called being intelligent. It does not diminish your capacity to make impactful plays. That concludes my personal mini rant on the subject. Regarding Jaxson Dart's comments, I don't take significant issue with them. He stated, "It's just part of the game," which is a standard athlete response. What else is he supposed to say in that immediate moment? Could he have said, "I need to be smarter"? That would also have been a reasonable quote. But he's a young, rookie quarterback facing the media amidst immense turmoil. His head coach was recently fired, which was, in my view, an astoundingly poor decision by the New York Giants. Even if the long-term plan is to move on from Brian Daboll, maintaining continuity for the remainder of this season was essential. They evidently had established a rapport and connection, and severing it midstream was absurd. It's akin to relocating an 8-year-old child in the middle of the school year. Let them finish the grade. You want to move? Fine. But wait until the academic year concludes. You're asking that child to integrate into a brand new school, make new friends in January. That's an enormous ask for an 8-year-old, and it's a comparable demand to place on a rookie quarterback. The posed question, is he too reckless to be a franchise quarterback, is premature. He is exhibiting recklessness now, but that doesn't condemn him to being perpetually reckless. The specific part of his quote that I find more problematic, as it reveals a slight lack of self-awareness, a trait I am hypervigilant about, was his implication. If you've been following me, don't assume anyone has been meticulously tracking your career. Don't assume you are sufficiently important, that people are intimately familiar with your entire developmental trajectory, because you simply are not. People didn't even extend that presumption to Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady at analogous stages. You are just not that significant. It doesn't matter. You're not. Even a player like Caleb Williams or Trevor Lawrence, who were anointed as generational prospects years in advance, should not operate on that assumption. It's comparable to being a mega celebrity. Imagine being Brad Pitt. You would still extend your hand and say, "Hi, I'm Brad." You don't walk through life presuming universal recognition, asserting, "I'm the king, I'm the man." That element of his comment stood out to me more than his justification of his playing style. It's important to maintain a grounded sense of self-awareness. You are not addressing an audience that has witnessed every single snap of your football life. They are not your parents. You are not that important. To be fair, I don't believe Caleb Williams was that important, nor Trevor Lawrence. You are all just individuals, quarterbacks, draft picks, people striving to succeed in the NFL. No one is so important that the entire world is obligated to know their every utterance and action. I also take some issue with the "this is how I've always played" mentality. I previously criticized Travis Hunter for a similar sentiment when he defended his two-way play by referencing his entire career. My response was, I don't care what you did at age 15 in high school or at age 12. I don't even care what you did in college. That is irrelevant now. You are in the National Football League. You cannot play offense and defense simultaneously. The notion that "this is how I've always played" is meaningless. This is the NFL. The context is fundamentally different. Having said all that, I will not be excessively critical of Jaxson Dart because I genuinely enjoy watching him play. He is a compelling talent. Frankly, the sole reason that particular game was even remotely watchable was due to his presence. He was the only compelling element. I believe the Giants have a legitimate franchise quarterback prospect in Dart. What they require is a legitimate head coach capable of developing him and an organizational commitment to building a competent team around him. Presently, this roster offers him nothing. I'm speaking of his immediate supporting cast, not future projections. He doesn't have Malik Neighbors. He doesn't have a fully healthy, established receiving core. He is operating with a fired head coach, an interim staff, and minimal offensive infrastructure. Yet, he still imbues this team with a semblance of a chance, a spark of life. Consider the environment. New York market, a losing team, a coaching upheaval. The weight on his shoulders is immense, especially for a player who has recently dealt with concussion protocols. For him to continue competing and taking hits, while, as my earlier rant clarifies, I don't deem it the smartest approach, I nevertheless respect it profoundly. He is giving everything he has. As a viewer, there are countless games where you question the collective effort, wondering, do you even care? What is the objective here? It's frustrating. You watch and think, give me that opportunity. I would cherish even half a chance. Then you witness some performances that feel pathetically lacking. To see Jaxson Dart, in contrast, exert maximum effort for a team going nowhere is commendable. From a Giants fan's perspective, you might paradoxically desire losses for a better draft position, to secure a premier coach, reunite a healthy neighbors with Dart, and build a foundation. Yet, the players on the field are still competing. I respect that tenacity. I truly do. I am convinced Jaxson Dart possesses an incredibly bright future. Watching him, I see ceiling-shattering potential. His confidence, his poise. Some analysts critique his field vision regarding receivers, but I perceive a player remarkably comfortable on the field, with excellent vision, particularly as a runner. He requires development and support, but from the outset, I have seen greater potential in Dart than in Shedder Sanders, a stance I held prior to the draft, which surprised many. Even within the chaos of a lost season, a dysfunctional franchise, and interim coaching, his talent is discernible. If you are a Giants supporter, you should be exhilarated. While the season has not gone to plan, the future horizon should be viewed with optimism. The organization must construct the right team and, critically, hire the right head coach to synthesize all the components. But they possess core pieces that can be impactful, with Jaxson Dart serving as the foundational anchor. Given the current circumstances, a rookie quarterback on a poorly constructed team with an interim coaching staff, what more can reasonably be expected? Reflect on Drake May's rookie season without proper support and coaching. He did not look exceptional. Once provided with that structure and guidance, he resembles an MVP candidate. That is the blueprint. It underscores how critical environment is to quarterback development. But these are simply my personal reflections and evaluations. I would absolutely be delighted to hear your own. What are your thoughts on Jaxson Dart? Do you believe his current style is too reckless for a franchise quarterback? What is your interpretation of his post-game commentary? Please share your viewpoints in the comment section below. I make it a point to read every single comment that is posted, so whether you are in full agreement with me or you fundamentally disagree, I want to hear from you. Let's ignite some engaging discussions. Let's engage in some spirited debates. But ultimately, let's simply enjoy the experience and have a great time. Please do consider subscribing to the channel. We are in the process of cultivating a truly wonderful community here, and I would absolutely be thrilled to have you as a part of it. My goal is to build something that we all feel a genuine connection to, something that we are truly enthusiastic and proud to be involved with, and I believe we are making significant progress toward achieving that objective. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it genuinely and substantially assists with visibility within the platform's algorithm. Thank you so very much for your time and engagement. I'll see you next time.